Good morning. I've been arguing with myself for a few days, a few weeks, whether or not to actually even do what I'm about to do. It's nothing bad, don't worry. Start a video blog or vlog, I guess if that's what it's called. I like to write. I enjoy writing, but at this point in my life, I find it hard to sit down and focus and get the things put in print or on a blog what I feel like I want to say, and then take the time to properly edit it. Being a former teacher, it's hard for me to let something go if it hasn't been combed over with a fine-tooth comb. And I guess the nice thing about video blogs is that they don't have to be perfect. So we're going to do some messy bun mornings and see how it goes. I may not post immediately. I may try to record a few first and then start posting them. So the input that I would love to have is, are you even interested in my thoughts in life? And how often would you want to see content and videos, and do you want them in real time, or does that really matter? I think some of the things that come to my mind are not really usually time sensitive. Sometimes they are, and I guess I could make sure that when they are, I post them immediately, and if not, I can save them for future content, because in reality we all have life and things that get in the way of doing the things that we plan to do. So that kind of gives you some saved content to use when you're not able to create it. When I do these, I may be straight out of bed. I may be already dressed for the day, whatever. But my goal would be to try to do them as early as possible in the morning. Why? I don't know. I've always been a morning person, and I think that for me anyway, always those first thoughts of the day tend to kind of set the tone for the day. So I try to wake up and find something positive and productive to think about or do or get done, and sometimes that's what it should be and sometimes it's not. So today the kids are all off to school. My husband is a huge help with that. I have a dentist appointment today. I thought I was going to get a day off this week, but and when I say day off, I guess I'll do a video at some point that tells a little bit more about me and who I am and what I do. But today, let's just chat. For me, a day off is having a full day off with no responsibility. So maybe I would do some laundry or housekeeping, or maybe I would just sit down and watch Netflix or read a book or whatever. But I thought that I would have that day yesterday, and then was remembered that I had a big project to do. No, what was yesterday? I had some kind of an appointment yesterday. Oh, I had a haircut yesterday. Yay! You can really tell by the way my hair looks now, right? I basically have slept in a ponytail and a scarf, and have not prepped my hair for the day. But the haircut went really well. I'm working on a video about that, which won't have anything to do with this vlog, but will just be about curly hair. And when that's ready in a couple of weeks, I'll share that with you. I'll make sure that you see it. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But today I am kind of prepping some things for Black Friday, and I'll talk more about that another day when it's more relevant. The thing on my mind this morning is being a teen mom, or being the person or coordinator for any type of, I hope these crinkles aren't too loud. It's kind of one of those days where I have to do 3 things at once. We have a lot of PTO parents, teen moms, coaches, things like that. But, those of us that do things like that also have a lot of other responsibilities. And it's hard sometimes to address excuse me, immediate needs and concerns as they come up, because you have children and you have a life and you have other responsibilities that are maybe more pressing to your personal life, and it's hard sometimes to accept the responsibility of trying to explain a situation to someone when it's of great concern and immediate need to them, even though to you it may feel not important, because the reality is that it's important to them. And we kind of have one of those situations going on right now, and it's a very frustrating one. But at the end of the day, when you have a parent that's frustrated, sometimes all you can do is reassure them of what you know and what you can. In this particular situation, there's only so much information that I can share, and unfortunately, it's not more information that than that particular parent already has. It just is what it is, and one of the things that I expressed to the group, I'll give you a couple of pro mom tips in a minute, is that sometimes we have to trust that the people who have taken on leadership roles, whether that be as simple as just being a team mom or as important as being the coach or the teacher of our children, we have to kind of let go and cut the cord, as they say, and let those people do what they have been assigned to do and trust them. If we don't trust them, then that's a whole nother issue, and we really have to sit down and take some time to talk with them without getting angry and frustrated and starting chitter chatter and gossip and things like that. I've been down that road. And a little background, I do have an educational background. I've been a parent for almost 20 years. I have a 19-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So to say that I've dealt with a few of these situations would be an understatement. I have had some that have gone very bad. And at the end of the day, the biggest problem or underlying issue is communication and people not talking to each other and trusting each other and just, letting them do what they do. And one of the things that I've learned over my life experiences, which, maybe you'll hear more about those later, just depending on what the day is, I guess, and what I feel like talking about. The thing that I have learned is that every single child, every single parent, every single teacher, every single person in any kind of leadership type role, or not even leadership role because I said child, but in any situation, comes to that world with a very different background and set of ideas and expectations. And some of us go through things that teach us to let go of certain things, and some of us don't, and some of us just haven't yet learned to let some things go, and some of us have reasons for not letting things go, and that's gonna again depend on every single individual child. I've been through enough to know that there are times when I have to let go and trust other people. And part of the reason for that is that I can't do everything. And moms, hear me. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. You cannot control every single situation that your child is in. And if they're in a large group situation, you have to be able to trust your coach and your teacher and your administrators or whoever. If you don't, I know that there are situations where you don't for very specific reasons, and that's different. I'm not talking about that. That's like a whole nother issue, but you just can't do everything and be everywhere. And there's a point when our children begin to grow up and are expected by their teachers and coaches or whoever else is leading them to They're expected to take responsibility for their actions, responsibility for their teammates or classmates. And that's not to say that they can control someone else's behavior, but the goal is for them to work as a team and to lift each other up and to encourage each other and help each other when they have struggles. And sometimes we don't get to know what all of those struggles are. And that's why sometimes a situation may, from our perspective as a parent of this particular child, think that a consequence is unfair or showing favoritism. But you just have to know that that coach or teacher or whoever has more information than you do. They may be working with a particular child on a particular struggle, or they may simply just be aware of a particular problem or situation. If you're not aware of that and your child's life is so-called picture perfect and they have no major concerns other than whether or not they have clean socks today, many kudos and blessings to you. That, you know, what a precious gift that's their only concern. And I'm not trying to minimize that, because it's a very big deal. We have so many children dealing with physical struggles, mental struggles, be that a chemical imbalance or a home situation, or someone in their family is sick, or their mom or dad is out of work, or nasty divorces, or even pleasant divorces. Even those amicable, friendly divorces, some are very hard and traumatic to deal with for a child. And one thing that we never ever want to do is discuss a child's personal situation, or bring that to the attention of other parents, and especially in middle school, because middle schoolers process things differently than we do, and they talk to each other differently than we do. And if we're making judgments and assumptions about a child or a parent or a situation, and our children pick up on that or know about it, that is going to affect their feelings toward a child. Now, of course, if there's an unsafe or dangerous situation, that's something you want to certainly talk with about your child. I don't know, maybe I already made my point, but just be careful. Middle schoolers are fragile, they're precious, and they're dealing with a lot of things that we don't know anything about. And so are their parents. Even the best parents, even the very best of parents with the very best of intentions, and those that, you know, do everything they possibly can that is good and right for their child, struggle to parent. We all do. So we, I guess, can be the example and not be catty and petty and gossipy and mean to each other. And that sets an example and a tone for our children. We need to be gracious, and we need to be loving and forgiving and understanding and trusting. And I hope that you are able to do that. I've read a lot of blogs. I've experienced a lot of children. I've read a lot of journals, not journals really, but articles, and talked to a lot of professionals, be those teachers or psychologists, or even paraprofessionals, or coaches and assistants and volunteers and people that deal directly with children. And I've dealt with a lot of children myself throughout my children's life that have struggles that we can't possibly imagine for our children. Use those to teach your children to be loving and tolerant, and not, I'm trying to think of a polite word, not selfish, not entitled, not expectant of things that may or may not happen. So that's it for today, I guess. I feel like this was way too long, so I'll try to keep them shorter in the future, because it seems like people like short 5 or 6 minute videos. So we'll try to do that in the past. Today, that was what's on my mind, and I hope that you gain something from it. It won't always be heavy stuff. Sometimes it'll just be light, getting stuff done for post. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you have a blessed day, and I will be praying for you and your children and all of the situations that you're dealing with, whether I know what those are or not. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.